when it comes to passion fruit cocktails, obviously the Porn Star Martini stands there head and shoulders above any other passion fruit cocktail out there. But when you start to look beyond the Porn Star Martini, there are actually two other passion fruit cocktails that kind of compete for second place. The first one I would say is the passion fruit margarita with tequila, absolutely incredible. And then the flip on that, this one is the passion fruit daiquiri. So coming up in this video, I'm going to show you how to make the original recipe, and I'm also going to talk you through various ways that you could riff up the original without getting too complicated, just very, very simple tweaks. And then I'm going to dive into 3 fun variations that I've created that keep the passion fruit daiquiri at the core of it, but we just take the cocktail in a very slightly different direction. 3 amazing recipes coming up. So let's start off with my go-to passion fruit daiquiri recipe. There's nothing really technical here. Couple of mini things to talk about, but that's it. It's a really easy cocktail. Essentially, we're just adding passion fruit to a straightforward daiquiri. So rum, obviously, look, I'm not going to preach about the rums. I flip between 2 at the moment. The Plantaray 3-star, so I want kind of like a classic kind of daiquiri, but I have got my Stella up there, which is my 4-rum blend, which is a little bit more funkier. But go for that. In the past, I've used a Cuban Ron Cube white rum. It's just fantastic. But a double bubble. We're going US measures here, so 60 ml, 2 ounces of your favourite white rum. It's just sort of a classic lime and sugar. I currently do like a sort of 2-1/2 at the moment. So we're lime juice, 30 ml. And then I'm doing the sugar now, because I'll talk about the passion fruit in a second. 15 ml of sugar. Now, you'll notice I've got this passion fruit puree here. There's a couple of reasons why I've got this here. First off, in my events, my cocktail masterclass side of the business, I have moved on to Barman, which is 100% passion fruit. There's no sugar in there or anything like that. It's just 100% now. I've swapped to Barman from Funkin because it just tastes better. However, there's a couple of other ways, and I've got a tiny little bit left in here for the weekend for events, and I'll kind of want to also talk about something else after I've made this as well. But the other way you could go is, you guys know I flipping love products like this. For home bars, these are fantastic. Long life, shelf stable. The important thing to note here is that these have already got the sugar in them, so you probably wouldn't need that. Okay, but I'm going to talk about something in a minute after I've made these daiquiris. So with this, 10 days. If you can't use it within 5 days, it's the wrong product. I say you can freeze these down. These are just fruit. Of course, they're going to freeze. If you want this sort of stuff, if you've got freezer space, go that route. But then home bars, this stuff is fantastic. There's no right or wrong there. You do you for this. So passion fruit puree, for this, my sweet spot is literally about 20 mils in there. And that was 15, so a little bit more, 20 mils. And it's just a lovely, fresh, zingy, vibrant passion fruit. So we're just going to give that a very quick shake. And then you can strain it or double strain it if you prefer into your favourite Nick and Nora glass. This is a very tightly coiled spring. Or of course you can strain it into a double old-fashioned glass with ice, whichever you prefer. And yes, I love passion fruit daiquiri so much. I have actually made 2 of them. And then garnish, I've got my dried passion fruit there from Frona, which would be perfect. Long life and shelf stable garnishes. Now, the point I want to get into, this, by the way, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely. I've fallen in love with this. Go and watch. I'll link to another video about this in there. This has been a product I've been searching for or trying to get now for 20 plus years, primarily only frozen in the UK. So unless you've got massive freezer space and room for ice cream tubs of this, it's pretty impractical for us bartenders. However, tail end of 2024, going into 2025, they've now released the ambient ranged properly to the UK market, hence why now that, so it's not a new brand at all. Chefs will know all about this sort of stuff. It's just the pinnacle now of passion fruit purees. It is incredible. Once you try it, you'll realise what I'm talking about. But that is fantastic. Now, the point I want to get onto here, and the kind of why I brought these 2 out here, I touched on it to start. This has got sugar in it, this hasn't. The cool thing about stuff like this is then you can go about swapping your sugars about. For example, the big classic one that I do, obviously the Porn Star Martini, swap that for vanilla sugar. So you've got your vanilla and passion fruit going on. when you've got products like this, which again, I absolutely love and adore, you guys know I do, these have already got the sugar in them. So when you do go to try and add another sugar to them, they become too sweet for the vast majority of people. And yes, I know some people say, well, just add more lime juice, but then that totally sort of messes up the balance of the cocktail. So while I am a huge fan of these, you don't get a chance to riff these up with sugar syrups, whether you want to go your Tiki spice syrup, your vanilla syrup, your honey syrup, your grenadine, your agave, your brown sugar, all the morning range that I've got over there, your blackberry, strawberry, your honey, your pomegranate, your blood orange, all those, you struggle. And the whole reason you will now see a whole bank of Giffard liqueurs down there is because liqueurs would be the way to flavour these up now. Yes, they have got a touch of sweetness to them, but they're nowhere near sugar syrup levels. So if your way of making cocktails is by playing about with different sugars, then you kind of want 100% passion fruit, or at the very least like a 90-10 product like Funkin, and here in the UK, Bristol, ODK's an 80-20, the pouches, not their bottles. So that's the difference. There's no right or wrong there. It's just how you prefer to make cocktails. And that just puts a smile on my face every single time. There are so many ways you could riff this up alone without getting into what I'm about to come on to, my 3 incredible riffs that take this in a slightly different direction. But if you just want to play on that, heck, the rum is coming up in the first riff, but it's a different kind of way of making it. You go your pineapple rums, your coconut rums in there, spiced rums. There are so many different ways, your different flavoured sugar syrups, as I've mentioned. There are so many ways to riff up the classic, easy, in this case, 4-ingredient passion fruit daiquiri. It's just a great, fantastic base. But let's dive now into these 3 incredible recipes that I've come up with that hopefully you will enjoy. Now, for your first riff, I'm going for a spiced pineapple and passion fruit daiquiri. And this isn't too far removed of what I've just literally talked about, as you will see, except we are not using a passion fruit puree this time. I'll tell you in a second. First ingredient, I've got the Plantaray Stickies Fancy, a pineapple rum. Flipping love pineapple and passion fruit together. We're going for 45 ml here, all right? 45, 1.5 ounces of that. I'm replacing my passion fruit puree with Chinogo. I know this is gathering momentum now within my community. I'm getting a lot of comments about this. I'm still waiting for the mango to be available here in the UK. This is essentially a puree liqueur, because all that's in that is rum, Dominican Republic rum, and Dominican Republic passion fruit. It's a thick liqueur, completely and utterly different to the likes of Pessoa or any of, like, I'm not sure Giffard do an actual passion fruit, but your bowls and all that do a passion fruit, completely and utterly different. So again, this will be a long life and shelf stable, very different way to making the porn star, the passion fruit daiquiri, compared to using a puree. But I know that this is a fantastic product. This is alcoholic, of course it is, and it's 21% ABV. Hence, I've done the 45 ml of that. I'm going for 15, but you could up that to 20 or 22.5 ml quite easily. So 15 ml, 22.5 ml, whatever you fancy to balance that out. Lime juice, 30 ml. So we're sticking to this 2-1/2 kind of ratio, 30 ml of there. And then the spice, I've mentioned this a couple of times now. This is my Tiki spice syrup. I got fed up with kind of playing about with different syrups, so I've just kind of blended a few together. Essentially, at the core of this is kind of like, it's got shades of agave at the core of this, vanilla there, but we've also got cinnamon, we've got nutmeg, we've got clove. But a crucial thing with this, we have got a little bit of chili. I would just kind of encourage you to play about. If you've got invested in the different modern syrups and all that, just kind of blend a few together to get yours, or create your own, with the saucepan and let them infuse and all that. But this stuff is fantastic. I just call this my Tiki spice. 15 ml, because it's not quite of as sweet as a sugar syrup. You've got sweetness in there as well. Almost as sweet. So I've got my ice in there. I've got that. I'm just going to give it a quick shake. So 4 ingredients. I'm just going to single strain, but as I've used big chunky ice and I've got my really tightly cooled strainer, that'll work. And then you guessed it, these Frono dried passion fruits are going to come out to play quite a lot. You get the idea. I don't need to kind of waste a load of garnishes on here. But that is your spiced pineapple and passion fruit daiquiri. That is incredible. The little bit of chili note comes through on there, but not too feisty because I haven't made it that hot. It's just a little bit in there. Chili and passion fruit works really, really well. Do you lose passion fruit vibrancy because you've not used a puree? No, absolutely not. That is as passion fruit forward as what I've just done in there. You know, this stuff is absolutely magical. Okay, kind of, I'm going to play about this a bit more because I think for some people that could actually replace a puree quite easily. It's a fantastic product, but you don't lose the puree. You don't lose the pineapple notes in there either. You've got this lovely sort of cinnamony, honey agave kind of spice note coming through there without using a spiced rum. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now, if you're new to the channel and you like me and you find these videos helpful and educational, you can do a couple of things for me. Firstly, like the video, that will help me a lot. If you want to see more of my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Then as rewards, popping up on screen now will be a QR code. There'll be a link in the description, a link in the pinned comment. You can download my free PDF cocktail book where I show you how to riff up 10 of my favorite cocktails. By the way, if you're thinking, hang on, that's got a little bit more frothier, I just had the genius idea of putting some Miss Betty's Bitters foamers in there just for the thumbnail. You could add the foamers and you get that lovely white creamy kind of head to the cocktail. Now for your second variation, I'm sure long-term viewers will know that I've got a massive soft spot for Tiki. You'll also know that I'm very shit at naming cocktails, excuse the language, but I can't name cocktails for love nor money. So this is Passion Fruit Daiquiri versus Tiki. Lots of ingredients in here, so we're just going to dive in. But this is still the Passion Fruit Daiquiri at the core of this cocktail, okay? We're just kind of extending it a little bit. So, without further ado, new jigger. Jamaican rum, Plantaray Zymaca, 30 ml here of Jamaican rum, all right? Next ingredient, we're going for the booze heavy, oh flipping Nora, that's delicious. 15 ml, 69% ABV blended rum, 15 ml. I've got my King's Ginger, which I'm back onto, which I actually really, really love. Part of me thinks they have reblended again. They say they haven't, but I get less lemony citrus now. Bearing in mind, I probably did try the first batch when they reblended it in 2020, 2021. That was 4 years ago. So, you know, that just might have been, I don't know, but this is really ginger forward. I'm back on this. This is absolutely fantastic stuff now. 15 ml of ginger liqueur here. Still get a slight hint of citrus. I'm saying it's still not quite original OG King's Ginger, but it's very good. Very, very good. It's lost that lemony, like real big lemony edge that I think it had when it first came out. And then with 15 ml, hey, look, I've just got a load of Giffard liqueurs there. We've still got Tempest Fugit down here. I'm just going to kind of play about with different banana liqueurs. Your favourite banana liqueur, 15 ml there. Right, lime juice, 100% lime juice, 30 ml. All right. We are back to the passion fruit puree, the Barman passion fruit puree, 20 ml. I keep saying it's my sweet spot for a lot of these cocktails. There we go. So 100% passion fruit puree. And then the sweetness, just going to balance out with a bit of honey syrup. 2 parts honey, 1 part water to make it more runny. Adjust the taste, 15 ml for me. All right. The final ingredient is your aromatic bitters. You know, I do use Miss Betty's aromatic bitters. I know most of you would use Angostura. All aromatic bitters are different. You know, there's not just one, replacements, they have got different flavour profiles. But I just really, really love these. And I actually think these are more suited to Tiki cocktails than what Angostura are. But that's just my opinion, all right? It's up to you. I'm just going for a dash in there. Okay, I just love these. I've got a soft spot for all of these Miss Betty's bitters. Right, we are just going to quickly shake down. Right, so a good shake. Or you could do it on your... I've got my laptop and all that in there, but yeah, I've still got my spindle milkshake blender thingy over there. You could do it in that quite easily. Now I'm going to strain this into my brand new Mai Tai Tiki glass from Drink Stuff. Link will be in the description below for these little bad boys. That's the first ever properly commercially available, proper Mai Tai glass available here in the UK. Really proud of these. So happy with our little project that's come off. Let's garnish, lovely sprig of mint and another passion fruit from Frona. I have created a monster. Oh my God, that is so good. passion fruit and banana forward. Very quickly afterwards, you get the OFTD, but you get a Jamaican rum in there. And then just at the kind of the end of it, you get this little bit of heat, this little bit of ginger, a little bit of sort of those tiki spices that come through there. So many layers, not sweet, beautifully balanced. In fact, even some of you might actually want a touch more sweetness in there because that is really not sweet. But that is incredible for layers. I'm really proud of myself for that. That's fantastic. And then your third riff, we're going for a spiced coconut and passion fruit highball daiquiri. Again, slightly different direction for this, but we are going for that passion fruit or that rum, passion fruit, citrusy, sweet base of this. All right, so first things first, I've used this for the flipping ages. Cane Rock, and I think this will work perfectly here. Spiced rum, vanilla, ginger, coconut. Really, really good. Do you know what? I had some of this the other day and I was like, why have I not used this more? This is cracking stuff. 45 ml of Cane Rock spiced rum. So in your shaker there. I'm going for some orange liqueur, Maison France, Pierre Ferrand dry orange curacao in there. 15 ml. You know, other Cointreau, Grand Marnier, that sort of stuff. I just prefer this at this precise moment. My sweetness, I'm omitting the lemony lime for a second. Wait for that. Your citrus, your sweetener is Demerara sugar, and I'm going for 15 ml. This is a 2-to-1 Demerara, but it's kind of the thickness of like a 3-to-1. So it's really kind of, I think I've overshot the Demerara in it. I think I've never really made too much Demerara before, but that is definitely a 2-to-1 because it was weighed out. But it's gone really, really thick. And then the final ingredient, I should just have enough. This is left over from the weekends without opening a new one because we know it's not long life and shelf stable. It's fresh. So that will be fine for my weekend events. This is left over from last weekend. It's filming on Wednesday. So, you know, it's been sitting in the fridge for what, 3 days, 4 days? 20 ml of passion fruit puree. There's a tiny, tiny little bit left in there. Right. As I say, no citrus at the moment. We're just going to give this a quick shake. All right. Quick, hard bar shake. And then glass-wise, I'm rocking this out because I got a message from Artist the other day, my Nikki at Artist. She said, Steve, why have you not rocked out the Endesa highballs for flipping ages? These are one of my favourite glasses. And I was just like, it's because you keep sending me bloody new glasses. I keep forgetting about all the old glasses. These are fantastic cocktail glasses. Flipping love these. You know, these are like 3-4 years old. I love them. Anyway, we just got that. So my citrus, as you've probably just noticed, I'm going for... This is the sort of lemon soda that I have behind here. It is a Sicilian lemon tonic. Think Schweppes bitter lemon. Think San Pellegrino limonata. Fever Tree Sicilian lemonade. You know, they've all got them. This is just what I've got, and I prefer this because I think this tastes absolutely incredible. We're going for the highball. Probably half a bottle, maybe. We'll just do that there for a second. Oh, I've not even gone that. There we go. Strain that in. A little bit more. Where are we? Yeah, half a bottle. Look at that. That's fizzing up. Sprig of mint to garnish there and another passion fruit probably. Oh my word. Oh wow. Well, the spiced rum first and foremost, you know, there's hints of coconutty, the gingeriness coming through there. You've got the passion fruit that comes off there. But this is so well balanced. That is not a sweet soda. You know, it's minimal sugar in there, but it's just got this, because there's a touch of quinine in there from tonic, being a tonic. Not too much, not tonic water tonic, but it just rounds that all lovely. And you get this like Demerara. Oh, that is, do you know what? I would struggle to work out which of these three are my favourites. Definitely. Even the four, you know, the original, the OG. Now don't forget, if you like this video, smash that like button. And YouTube really thinks you're going to love this video next.